This episode focuses on ambiguity. In many readings, the somewhat negative term dealing with ambiguity is considered a skill, and perhaps it is. In this teaching, I turn ambiguity from a challenging skill into an enjoyment. So wouldn't it be better to enjoy those things that are hard for others? So first, let's discuss dealing with ambiguity. So those who are extremely rule-based decision makers, they have a hard time with unclear or ambiguous situations. They need clarity, planning, known guidelines, chain of command, preset priorities, among other things. And if these rules are not present, they get stressed. Do you want to live like that? What if it was possible to flip from dealing with it to enjoying it? I'm not talking about becoming irresponsible or happy-go-lucky. This is a place where creativity and leadership intersect. See, I define leadership as the conversion of ambiguity into a vision. So when you are a leader of people or a creative mission, there is no one else to define the plan, the timeline, or the resources. So if you want to be a great leader, you must enjoy ambiguity and translate it for your team. So enjoying ambiguity means managing your resistance to change, as discussed in episode 2. It means building self-confidence through tools of disruptive thinking and seeing beyond the obvious. Those were covered in episode 3 and 4. It means handling risk well, as we teach in episode 5, called Failure is Impossible. And it means handling uncertainty, a basic need covered in episode 6, called Creative Health. You can see that this teaching series has building blocks that are necessary to become a creative force. Leaders create change to keep pace with the evolving world, and with that comes new ambiguity. So followers are dealing with ambiguity while leaders are enjoying ambiguity. So let's look at ways that you might already enjoy ambiguity. You might like traveling to new places, redecorating your home, learning a new game, team building exercises. So what do these have in common? All 4 of them. I think there are 4 things. One is the outcome of the activity is in your control. And then the second one is the consequence of doing this activity is short-term and low impact. And then third, your own curiosity is satisfied in some way. And then fourth, a change in direction is possible and it's not the end of the world. And so you see those things, traveling, redecorating your home, learning a new game, or team building, those things are fun because the consequences are manageable and they don't stress you out. So now if you're extremely introverted, in the gray zone of this chart, you might not enjoy any of these examples. But the majority of people should enjoy them some of the time. So you're in the green zone. You're able to enjoy these kinds of activities. So how do these common attributes apply to creative work such that ambiguity can be enjoyed? Let's look at each one. First, let's look at outcomes, great outcomes. We all want them. We don't want to waste time, our most precious commodity. Ambiguity becomes enjoyable when you can control how the outcome is achieved. So if you're a leader, encourage your team to take command of the methods that they use to achieve the outcomes. Let them do it their way. And if you're a team member of an effort, have a quality discussion with your leader about the degree of empowerment that you have. You may find that you have more freedom and more control than you know. Sometimes people put pressure on themselves to achieve unrealistic goals, which can kind of sour their creative flow. It's like a fisherman expecting to catch 20 fish per hour, or else it's a waste of time. Give yourself a break. Creativity does take some time. So the next one is consequences. Ambiguity, is made difficult when the risk is unknown. There's some kind of hidden agenda, or the leaders are vague about these consequences. What's the worst that can really happen? Will you be judged? Ambiguity becomes enjoyable when you are grounded well, meaning that you can set aside these fears and anxieties. So if you're a leader, relieve your team of any grave consequences so that they can focus on achieving the best outcome. Have a great contingency plan and be happy with that. And if you're a team member on an effort, be aware of your fears that are blocking your own enjoyment. Align with your leaders on your contingency plan as you see it. The next one's really curiosity. And sometimes we kick into project mode when we really should be in creation mode. And remember that the creation domain does not demand performance or schedules. So stop and smell the roses. Enjoy the journey. Let your curiosities be filled and satisfied. That may mean that you need to block off some quality time for your creative endeavor so that you can enjoy it. And the fourth one of change and direction. Let's talk about this because it can raise the stress level of ambiguity. So I had to learn this lesson myself several times. So I found myself going down one train of thought, hitting a barrier, and then going down another train of thought, hitting another barrier, and then kind of repeating. And it just seemed like I was making no forward progress. I was making myself crazy with my own ambiguity. So I learned that I needed to catalog each train of thought. For myself, a single PowerPoint slide that captures the essence of the thought works well. You might need to doodle to capture them. So even though they seem like a variety of dead ends, actually each one is just part of a larger puzzle. So capture those efforts and those dead ends and kind of get them in a form that you can see them all in front of you. And at some point you'll find that maybe 2 or 3 of them combined together really produces the outcome that you want. And cataloging helps your team stay in sync too, so everyone's ambiguity becomes more enjoyable. So cataloging can also help organize your thoughts and put your subconscious to work as you lay it out in front of you. So great outcomes and managing consequences, feeding your curiosity, and allowing yourself to be at peace with changes and directions are some examples that make ambiguity more enjoyable. And there's certainly more. You could think of others. And contemplate on how you are already enjoying ambiguity and find ways to associate those experiences with your quest to be creative. Go down this unknown road, and it's filled with surprise, wonder, and growth for yourself. Think of it like a vacation. So thank you for your time and attention. Let's just enjoy ambiguity.